Hey, so today I'm going to be sharing with you how to use Trello from your mobile phone. So I'm going to be doing a walkthrough basically of the Trello app. And so I thought it would be a great transition from, the tutorials that I put together recently on, how to walk through Trello on your, computer. I thought it'd be a great idea to share with you how to do it from your cell phone in case you wanted to use the app on your cell phone, which I highly recommend because I find it extremely beneficial. I'm always have my cell phone on me, so it makes it easier when everything comes through my cell phone as well. And the reason I'm shoved over to the side right now is because I'm going to display images over on this side. So I'm also holding my cell phone right now, and I'm actually going to be looking at it so I can make sure that I hit on all the points that I want to hit on and actually looking at the app so I can make sure I go through everything that I want to. So I just want to point that out as well. And if you are new to this channel, I just want to say welcome and thank you for watching. And to let you know that this channel is all about, virtual planning, virtual systems, how I use different systems in my life to create efficiency and to kind of have an efficiently run household and personal life all in one. So I hope you enjoy this, and I'm going to dive right into the Trello app. Okay, so I'm going to share over here a video on how to go about finding the Trello app on your cell phone, so in the App Store. Now, I have an Android device, just to let you know. So if you have an iPhone, it's probably going to look different. But here's how I go about finding the app. And of course, I already have Trello on my phone, so I can easily just open it up where you would just have to install it. And so that would be it. So when it opens up, it opens directly into your boards. And you can also see that if you have any star boards, it will show your star boards and any of your, current boards listings. So it will just have a listing of all of those items or boards. And if you want to see your home or your dashboard, you would just click on the three little lines that are right next to where it says board. And then when you click on those, you'll see a little bit of a drop down. And one of the items in your drop down is going to be a selection for home. So again, that is your dashboard. That's very similar to what it is on your computer as well. So if you want to click on that, you can click on that. And I'm going to show you kind of what pops up. So that is going to be your notification section again. So all your notifications will be listed in that section, and you'll have, what's upcoming all in there. And then also, if you go back to the three little lines, if you click on the three little lines, then you can see, and I'm going to show over here, that there is a My Card section. And so if you go to the My Card section, you can actually get a listing by board of your cards. So if you just wanted to view all the cards that were assigned to you, I'm pretty sure, they're ones that are assigned to you, then you can see all of those in that card section. So that's where all your cards are going to be that are assigned to you. So then if you go to the three bars at the top again, and you go to that menu again, and you scroll down to close to the bottom, if you have a lot of teams or boards, you might not need to scroll much if you don't have anything, but you'll see a settings section. So automatically when you download the Trello app, the notifications are, I'm pretty sure, automatically going to be pushed through your phone. Now, that happened with me when I downloaded it. It might be different for you. And again, I have an Android phone, so it might be different on an iPhone. But that's what happened with me. And so if you don't want notifications, which I do recommend, but if you don't want the notifications, you would go to the settings section. You would click on the first one. So that first option would be Open System Settings. You can go ahead and click on that, and then from there you can adjust your notifications. So I'm going to again share some images over here so you can see that, what that looks like, and you can just push the little button or the dial from left to right if you want to turn it on or off. And then another spot, so very similar to the computer, which I will show on this screen over here, is a little bell option at the top where you can see your notifications as well. So that's another spot that you're going to be able to see your notifications. And again, it's very similar to the computer app as well. So if you click on that, you'll see any notifications that you have there. And then also from there, you could also adjust your notifications as well. So you can click on the three little dots, and then you can click on that option, and you can then adjust your notifications from there as well. So either in the settings or that notification spot, or the two spots, you can adjust your notification options. And then the last thing that I wanted to share with you from the home page. So if you go back to the three lines, click on the home option, which again, I'll share over here. You can actually search your cards and your boards, which I find extremely helpful. So there's a little search icon, and I'll show it up here. So if you click on that, and you can see in this image here, I actually just searched for the board. I just started typing in to do, and our board automatically came up, the to-do list board. So you can easily, if you have a lot of boards, you can easily search by board. You can also search by card. And you can see here that I searched prepare. I started typing in prepare, and one of our cards came up. Actually, two of the cards. One I archived already, but they both showed up here. So you can easily search by your card. So now we're just going to dive into the board. So now we're going to go into one of the boards that we have. And again, you can do anything that I'm explaining within a board in any of your boards. So the one thing that I found out recently is that you can zoom out when you're looking at your board. So when you're looking at it on a mobile phone, you can see here that it's very zoomed in, and you only basically get to see one list. But then here, which I zoomed out, so there's that little button at the bottom that you can zoom in and out. When I click on that, you can see so many more boards, so many more lists, which I just realized recently. And I don't know if it's a new thing that they just did recently, but I love that. I love that I can zoom out and see more things. Okay, and then when you're diving into the board and you want to find the menu section in your board, I'm going to show you here. You just click on these three little dots, and then you will be able to access your menu from there. So it's going to be very similar to what the board menu looks like within a computer, on your computer as well, where you would just select menu. You don't select menu, you just select the three little dots. And so you can then get access to your menu. Okay, so I'm just going to briefly go through what is all provided in the menu on your cell phone. So the description section, the about this board section, if you click on that, you can actually put in a description for what your board is about. Now, I personally don't use that option right now. I do not have any of the descriptions for my boards right now, but if you are sharing it with other people and you want to be able to explain what the board is about, you can go ahead and share that there. And then you can also add members from that section, that menu option as well. So if you click on the members, you can then add in any members from there and see who's all a member from there as well. And from that option, you can also actually click on the three dots next to the member name, and you can adjust the permission. So you can have them create them as an admin too. If you wanted to have someone else on the board as an admin, you can do that as well from that option. If you click on the activity option here, it literally will just list within that little menu section all of the activities that have happened on that board. So any kind of updates, any changes, those will all be listed in the activity section. You can see it right here. Okay, so if you click on the power-ups here on the mobile app, now this is the one that's quite different from the computer version. So the computer version, or if you're accessing Trello from your computer, you can see a lot of different options for power-ups on your computer. It's a little bit different on your cell phone. You only have a couple of them that you can see from your cell phone. So you can see custom fields, calendar, card aging, voting, map, and list limits. So those are the ones that you can access from your cell phone, which is fine because I mostly would just access the calendar one from my cell phone. So if I open up the calendar option on my cell phone, you can see an actual like calendar, which I will show here what it looks like when you access it from your cell phone. You can see an actual monthly calendar that you can then click on the different days to see, what tasks you have on those days. So the calendar option on the mobile phone is actually pretty helpful. So if that's something that interests you, then you can easily access that from your cell phone too. So that's just really nice to be able to access it per board as well. You also have the calendar option. If you exit it out of the Power Up, you also have the calendar option available in your menu too. So because we selected the calendar as a Power Up, it shows up there as well. So you can access it from, going into the Power Up and clicking Open Calendar, or you can just access it directly from here. So like I mentioned in I think it was the first video that I did for the Trello tutorial, that you can archive cards, but you can still access those archive cards. So you can see here in the menu option that you can actually sort by archived cards and archived list. So if you actually want to go in there and find a card that you accidentally archived, you can do that from there as well. You can also do that from your computer, from the menu option on your computer as well, whichever is easiest for you if you want to sort that way, or find an archived card or list. Okay, and now the board settings. Now these are very similar to what the computer option has as well. So you can rename your board with the first option. You can change the team with the second option. If you have multiple teams and you wanted to put it onto a different team, put that board in a different team, you can do that from there. And I'm going to have a image so you can see all the different options as well too. You can edit the labels from this option as well. So if you decide that you wanted to change the label, once you change it on this, it will change all of the cards that had that previous label to the new label. So just a heads up, if you want a new label, then make sure that you're, creating a new one and not just editing an old one. So then you can also, again, change the background from your mobile phone as well. If you're out and about and you want a different background, or if you added a board and you want to change the background, you can easily do that from your cell phone as well. And I'll show here what it looks like. You can either select colors or you can select photos. So you can either select colors or photos, and you can change your board background, very similar to how I explained it in the Trello tutorial. And I will link the Trello tutorial series here in case you missed that and you want to check that out. I will also link the Trello tutorial series in the comments below too. So if you wanted to make sure you check that out, I go in a lot of detail about how to Trello and how to set up a board, how to work within Trello from your computer. So that's something that you want to look into. Don't forget to check that out in the cards or in the comments below, or the description below. So you can also unstar your board or star your board from this option as well. So if you clicked on the star, it's either unstar it if you already have it starred, or I'll star it if you don't have it starred. And again, starred boards are literally just the boards that you access on a regular basis. They are your favorite boards. Okay, and then I'm going to put together a little video for you here. You're going to be able to see a video here on how to go about doing a pin board. So what you would do is you would select the option that says pin to home screen. So I like actually doing this because I have all of my Trello boards, again, that I access. So basically my favorite boards that I access on a regular basis, those starred boards, I have in a folder. And you can see in the video that there's a folder I have with all my Trello boards. And so I'll show you, once you clicked on the pin to home screen, it will automatically show up on your cell phone, and you can drag that into a folder that you created. So I have a Trello folder that I've created. And then if you don't want that that board in that folder or on your, home screen anymore, you can drag it and I think it says archive, or, drag it up to the top. And again, this is from an Android phone. So it might look a little bit different on an Apple phone or iPhone. So I just want to explain that again. But then you can also create a folder, and I'm showing here how you go about creating a folder, again, from an Android phone, if you want to group all of your Trello boards all together in one spot. So hopefully this is helpful for you, and I personally love using the folder that I've created for all my Trello boards, so that I can just open up my phone. It's on my main screen. I click on that. I can go directly to any of the boards that I use on a regular basis. So it's just very helpful, very efficient way to do things. Okay, and then the last few things from the menu section of your board is you can watch a board. And what it means to watch a board is you will be notified if there's any activity, any changes, or anything related to the board. Any comments added, you will be notified about that. So you will get a notification pushed through on your cell phone as well. And then copy a board, you can easily copy a board. And if you want to share a board with someone, you can actually share a board by grabbing a link, by clicking on the share board link. You can copy a link and you can share it through, a text, an email, or anything that you're doing from your cell phone as well. Okay, and then also from your board, you will see like a little search icon, and I'll show you here what the search icon looks like. So when you click on the search icon, you can then search within that board as well. So the main search that we showed, you would search within all of your boards and all of your cards, basically everything that you have on Trello, you could search that way. But with this one, you can specifically search within the board. And so if you put in the @ sign, which I will show you up here, if you put in the @ sign and start to type in someone's name, you can actually search which cards that person is assigned to. So if you wanted to search for yourself and see what cards you were assigned to, if there was a lot going on within that board, you can easily just sort by the cards that you were assigned to. You can also search by label within your board. Now, you can't do this by the main search, but you can do it within your board. So you can see here, I start to type in household chores, and I can select that option, and then it will show me which cards within that particular board have that option, have that label selected. You can also search just by typing in, starting to type in a word for the cards that are in that board. So I started to type in prepare, and you can see the card that has prepared dinner in there. And so that's the only the only card that has prep in it. And so you can easily, if you just want to try and find a card that was related to a topic and you don't remember which list you put it in, and maybe you have a lot of cards within that board, you can easily just search by just simply starting to type in the name of the card or something within the card. Okay, and then I'm going to dive into the card now. So the card setup is going to be a little bit similar, or pretty much similar to the computer version. So your app will be similar to computer version. When you click on the card, you'll be able to see basically all the same information that you see on the computer side of it as well. And when you click on the description section, any kind of formatting that I talked about in the Trello tutorial series, which again, I'll link below in the comments or in the description, any of that, any formatting that you did there, it will also show, you can also do that same kind of formatting on your card as well. And then to move a card, you can do that easily from your app as well. You would just click on, so right below the title, and I'll leave a little picture up here where exactly you can click on. You can just click on the list name in order to move move the card. So you can move it to another board, another list, and then the position. So you have all these options the ways that you can move the card as well. Okay, and then for the label within the card, you can simply change the label by clicking on the current label name if you have a label name for it. And if you don't have a label name, it will say labels. And I'm going to show you both of those looks here so you can see that. And so in order to, once you click on the label, you can then go and edit, the name of the label. You can create new labels from there as well. So it's just something that you can easily do very similar to what your computer has as well. Okay, and then if you click on the member, you can easily select the member that you want to assign to that card. Now, you cannot add members from this option here, but you can add them on the main board, like I showed you a little bit earlier. So you can just assign people that are already a part of the board from here. Okay, and then when it comes to due dates, again, you just simply select the option for the due date. And then from there, you can pick, what date you're going to use for the due date, the time, and then if you want a reminder. So again, the reminders will come through your cell phone, which I find very helpful. If you want that to come through, then remember to keep the push notifications on. But if you don't want that, that's perfectly fine. You'll have a notification come through on when you open your app, in the bell will turn red when you have a past due notification. And then you can also, once you open your app, you can go to your home screen and see, what tasks you have. So you don't have to have the push notification, but personally for me, I need a constant reminder because I won't remember anything if I'm not reminded of it. So I like to have any kind of notifications for my Google Calendar or Trello come through my phone and actually pop up on my main screen, because I will forget. I won't remember to click on the app and get into it on a regular basis. So personal preference, whatever works best for you. Oh, and then I also wanted to point out too, there's a little box on the main menu. Once you select a due date, there's a little box next to it, and I'll show you in this section here what that looks like. If you check that, if you select that in your mobile app, that means you have marked the task as complete. So I just want to let you know that if you push that little checkbox, that marks the task as complete. And then you can also, of course, access all of your checklists too. You can see here that there is currently a checklist on this particular app. Again, you can check off things, and when you check things off, you will see that the checked items are selected. If the checked items are showing. If you don't want the checked items to show, you can see here the option that you can select to hide the checked items. Now, sometimes it doesn't transfer over from the computer to your cell phone. So if you selected that you want to hide the completed option on your computer, it might not switch over to the cell phone. So you might have to just select that as well on your cell phone. Same with, going the other way. You just might have to reselect that on your computer. So just a heads up there. And then you can also easily add new checklists from the checklist option, which I will share here. It's literally just clicking on the checklist, and then you can just then go and add new checklists. You can also change the name of the checklist from your app as well, just by clicking on the name of the checklist and changing it. So one thing I did want to point out when it comes to the checklist, on your computer version, you can convert a checklist item to a card. You cannot do that from your cell phone right now. At least I haven't been able to figure out how to do that from your cell phone right now. So if you wanted to convert a checklist item to a card, then you actually will have to do that on your computer. The other thing I want to point out is you can hide the checklist. So if you want to hide all the items in the checklist, you can just select the little arrow, and I will show you in this graphic here where to select that. But if you want to hide your checklist, you can just easily do that by selecting that arrow. Okay, so when it comes to attachments, you basically have the same options as your computer as well. So you can actually take a picture, so you can have a picture. So I guess that's a new option. And you can see the options right here. You can take a picture and include that as an attachment. When it says file, so you can actually either pull from, what you have in your camera roll, your screenshots, anything that you have on your phone. And also for me, it links to like my Google Drive as well. So you can access your Google Drive from the file section as well. And then you can attach a link again as well, and a Trello card or a board. So you can do all those options from your cell phone as well. And then another thing, which I think is new, so you used to not be able to see your Butler cards So we created a Butler card the last time in the third part of the Trello tutorial series, which you can see below. I'll link all the series below, but we used Butler to create a reset checklist. So you can see that there is an option in your card to do a reset checklist. So you can click that and have all of your checklists reset from your card, which is awesome that they have that available now, which I don't think they had that before. So the last thing I want to mention is there's 3 little dots when you're looking at your card in the top right side. If you click on those dots, you have a couple more options. So you can share the card link. So if you wanted to share the card with someone else, in a text message or, social media link or anything or social media post or anything like that, you can easily do that by selecting that option and then copying the link. You can watch the card again. That will let you know on any activity that's going on for that card as well. You can move the card from that option. So you could also, either click on the list name to move the card, or you can click on the little dots, the 3 little dots to move the card as well. You can copy the card from here. You can archive it, and you can actually delete the card from the mobile app as well. So hopefully this is helpful for you. Hopefully you found this useful. If you want to use Trello on your phone, which I find extremely beneficial. So hopefully this is something that was helpful for you. And don't forget to subscribe below if you want to hear more, if you want to see more videos on how I go about planning virtually, creating virtual systems, and creating efficiencies in my life. And sharing that with you. So hopefully this is helpful.